All right, we welcome the second ever guest to the Sip of Naderade podcast. It is my girlfriend. It is Alyssa Randazzo. We had two big events in our life in the last week or so. Of we went to the Olivia Rodrigo concert last Wednesday, and then we watched the Bachelor season finale on Monday. Wanted to bring Liz on to talk about both of them. Liz, welcome to the pod.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll start off chronologically. We're gonna kind of break down the Olivia Rodrigo concert. So last Wednesday, we went to see her in Chicago. It was the second day that she was here. We went on Wednesday at the United Center, and um, it was just a great time. It was a great concert. We obviously Liz is definitely the music junkie of this group. I'm more the sports junkie, so it's a good, it's the Taylor and Travis of this podcast, this relationship. But we went and saw Liv. So Liz, what were your thoughts? How did you like it?
I loved it. Um, she is amazing. I told you she started on High School Musical, the musical, the series. So that's like my guilty pleasure. I watched that during the pandemic, and that's where she got her start. But I remember thinking when I saw her, I was like, gosh, she's gonna do big things. And then she left the show. She was only gonna release an EP. Everybody like fell in love with driver's license, and then she created an entire album, so that was huge. But it was awesome. We, as we've talked about, we're the oldest people there, which is crazy, but I thought it was amazing, and she's gonna go really far.
Yep, I had the same thoughts. So I remember like when I first discovered her, it was not on High School Musical, the series or whatever the show's thing is called. It was someone on like Twitter had posted about this new song, Driver's License, and they used the term bridge. And at that point, I didn't know what a bridge of a song was. So I was just like, what are they talking about? What exactly does this even mean? So I looked up the driver's license song and I was just like, wow, this song is just incredible. And then I also remember at the time I was living in Pennsylvania, and that when that song like really hit its peak, I was going through the process of transitioning over my Indiana driver's license over to my Pennsylvania driver's license. So it's just like, yeah, she just got her driver's license. Yes, I'm 24 or whatever at this time, and she's talking about it because she was 16 and got it for the first time. But I was just like, yeah, we're both getting our driver's licenses. But the age difference was definitely a common occurrence that we were talking about during the whole experience, because I think it was definitely not what I expected. I felt like I knew that I was rooting for someone that was younger than me, and probably she has, her target market is female younger than 27 years old. I'm not sure I necessarily knew how young it was. Talk to me about
No,
little about that.
yeah, so when we got there, I feel like we were both like shocked at the people that were there because they were all so much younger than us. And like I know her audience is like probably age 9 to, I mean, our age. Like I know a lot of people my age that listen to her music, but the concert goers were children and their parents or like early college students. Um, I definitely felt out of place. I don't know if I've ever felt that out of place at a concert before. So it was super interesting.
Yes, I guess there were two times that it kind of shone through for me. Of one, on the way there, you were cracking up at me because I I have not been to a ton of concerts, but I have noticed all the concerts I go to, the next day I'm just like, wow, I'm exhausted from this. And like, doesn't matter if I don't drink, I literally just go listen to the concert, sing my heart out, and then I go home, and the next day I'm just like, wow, that really wrecked me. So I told you on the drive over, I was just like, I've already taken a Tylenol. Like I'm I'm prepping, because it
Ridiculous.
they always just yeah, they always just hit me hard. So this time I was preparing, and I was just like, wow, none of these kids are doing that. Like they're having the absolute time of their life, because they're like, wow, I'm out on a school night.
You need more concert going experience.
Yeah.
But, and I just remembered, and you've had some in the last year. But when we first met, you were like, the Spotify version is just so much better than live music. And now you've had your taste of live music, which hopefully your opinion has changed a little bit. But I also am thinking about the girls that were standing behind us and how, first of all, they were going through it. Like, are they okay?
Yes,
And
they were
then
they were middle
our,
schoolers truly going through their first middle school crush, and they were
yeah,
singing their guts out, to give a little nod to Olivia. They were singing their guts out, screaming at the top of their lungs to songs that don't deserve to be screamed to, but they were doing it anyways.
their vocal cords. Okay. I don't know if their vocal cords survived. Also, my eardrums barely survived. So,
Yeah, that's correct. Second time that I noticed we were young was actually at the very end, and I realized it because we we drove there, and so we were leaving. We had gotten a spot hero. We parked basically like 2 blocks away from the United Center, so we left. And on our walk there, I'm noticing like all these cars that are parked all along the sides of the roads. They're running and there's people in them, but I'm like, you're not Ubers, you're not, like, why are you here right now? And it took me about 75% of the way to the car before I realized, but I eventually realized, and I said to you, I'm like, listen, all these cars are lined up right now because their parents basically just waiting for their kids to pick them up from this concert. Like, we were essentially walking through the school pickup line.
yeah, that was pretty wild.
Yeah, very wild. um the bright side of this, I feel like I did somewhat have a, younger generation has been restored in my mind situation, because we went to the Jonas Brothers last summer. They played at Wrigley Field. It was a nice summer evening concert back in August, and we went and we left very happy with how the Jonas Brothers performed, but very disappointed in, honestly, a lot of the crowd, which was a very similar market of people much younger than us. And especially, like, I mean, I don't want to make a broad statement just because of the people in front of us, but it was happening everywhere. And this just happened to be right in front of our faces. Of, if kids didn't know the songs, they truly were just on their phones, sitting down, paying attention to something else, waiting for something else that they actually did care about to be played. That was not
Yeah,
something that I saw at Olivia. Would you agree?
I agree. And I remember we talked about it when we were at the Jonas Brothers concert. It was super disappointing just because I don't know, I come from a music background. I'm just like, hey, they put a lot of effort into this. You should listen. And I also think it's about the production too. This is not a dig at the Jonas Brothers, but I think they did their own little play on what Taylor did for her Eras tour. Like they did every single album and they crammed so many songs in through the whole concert. And a lot of them, people just aren't as familiar with them, and that's totally okay. But they almost crammed in too much, which I think like disengaged the people who are only familiar with their like bops and the singles and the hits. So I think that was part of it. But it was refreshing to just see people fully like all in to the concert. So I would 100% agree with that.
Yeah, they definitely. I mean, you somewhat give the benefit of the doubt to Olivia fans because she's got two albums, so essentially you have, I don't know, 30 songs to know, compared to the Jonas Brothers that
Yeah.
probably are in the hundreds. And yeah, there are definitely times at concerts where it's just like, I don't know this song. I don't know what to do while they're playing it. But I never once thought like, I'm just gonna sit down and scroll TikTok and I'll wait until they play Burnin' Up kind of thing. Like, I've always just been like,
Right.
okay, it's a fun atmosphere, but it's not as fun of an atmosphere
Yeah.
if you only care about the songs that you actually know. So I was
Right.
happily
Agreed.
surprised of like, okay, now these kids seem to be locked into every song. Didn't
Yeah.
matter what they were playing. If she was playing an older album song, her newest album song, if she was playing the song from Hunger Games, if she could have played anything and everyone was going to be locked in. So I was happy with that.
Yep.
Um, you did mention Taylor. I feel like the obvious. Taylor Swift is, I think I'm fair to say, your number one all time artist, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it seems pretty easy at this point in their careers to kind of like start comparing. So we both went to the Eras tour. We It's kind of the creme de la creme of all concerts in our minds. Of I literally I don't know, about 8 months ago wrote an article that said, if utopia is imaginary, then how exactly do you explain Taylor Swift's Eras tour? Because it is that kind of incredible. But how would you compare what we saw at Olivia on Wednesday to what you've seen with Taylor Swift? And obviously, I've only been to her Eras tour. You've been a Taylor Swift lifer, so you've gone to other tours of hers as well. So just talk to me about those comparisons.
Yeah. And Taylor's been doing this for a really long time, so it's hard to like compare like Taylor's so advanced in her career compared to Olivia, but there were some similarities between Olivia's current tour and then Taylor's Speak Now tour that I went on. And like Olivia got up on the moon and flew around the arena. And then Taylor, when she did her Speak Now tour, she got up on something too while she was singing like Love Story. So we saw that similarity. We also talked about before Olivia introduced Jealousy, Jealousy, she had like a kiss cam um, out in the audience. And so there was this couple kissing. And then she like leaned over to her guitarist and said, "Is this making you jealous?" Which is very similar to the way that Taylor introduced the man during the Eras tour. So just some similarities there, but Olivia's going to do just as big of things as Taylor's doing. She is an incredible songwriter already at age like 21, and I hope that she can like find a lot of I just want her to be like original too. Like I don't want her to feel like she's walking in Taylor's footsteps because I think they were compared a lot before so early in Olivia's career that I feel like she has these big shoes to fill. Um there are some differences though. So I think Olivia is a little bit more angsty than Taylor ever was. Like Olivia's album her first album I think has like explicit songs on it, and Taylor's like first explicit songs weren't until like Folklore or Evermore, I want to say. So when I think about Olivia, it's truly just like teenage angst. When I think about Taylor, it's just like slow, sad, like teardrops on my guitar. So just a different overall vibe when they were earlier in their careers, but both super talented and I mean just enjoyable concerts, like locked in the entire time. And you can tell that they put so much work into it.
Yeah, for sure. I guess when you think about younger Taylor, she was primarily thought of as like a country artist. So it's not shocking that she's like, "Wow,
Yeah,
you weren't singing angsty country," because I don't really think that's a
right.
genre to even sing. But yeah,
No.
Olivia has definitely started as the pop artist, and she's an angsty pop artist, and we'll see how she blossoms. But there were definite signs of like, I can see where you're it feels like I can see where your career is going, just because they're so easy to compare, because they kind of, they've started at similar ages. One's obviously older, but there's a lot of similarities between the two. Um, you mentioned like kind of the production in general. I did find it funny that like you can tell the difference between Taylor and Olivia, and that like I did not go to Taylor's early concerts, so I do not know. But like right now, her choreography, the production of everything that she has, like it is tailored down to the step. She knows everything. Like it, I don't know if she's taken dance lessons, but it seems like, yeah, you've probably taken dance lessons. And then you flip over to Olivia, and you kind of see like she still has just. I whispered to you during the concert, leaned over. It's just like middle school dance tendencies of just like
Yeah.
her favorite thing to do is probably just to like jump up and around and get the crowd hype. And I remember like being younger, looking into, I was probably in high school, but I would look into like middle school, elementary school dances because my mom worked in the school. And I just feel like all they're doing is just jumping up and down. Like they're just standing in the middle of the Yorktown basketball court jumping up and down. And that's essentially exactly what Olivia does with her
Yeah.
choreography at this point. It's just like, yeah, this she's just overflowing with emotion, and it whether it's angst or whether it's excitement, that's where it comes out.
A lot of jumping around the stage the entire time. And I think I even said to you, there's this thing that's going around on TikTok or something, but like the Disney knees, like she just has, you can just tell she came from the Disney background. She's still learning how to dance, but like it was still so fun to watch.
Yes, fully agree. Um, did you have a favorite song from the night?
I feel like it's hard to pick one. So I probably have like a top three, but what's interesting is that my go-to for Olivia, I feel like is always Traitor or Vampire within the last year. And I really enjoyed Enough for You, which was, I don't want to say it was like a skip on there were no skips on Sour, but it was one that I wouldn't go back and like listen all the time. And just hearing it live was a different experience for me. I really liked that one. You called out that I like Deja Vu, which was so fun to just dance and scream at the top of my lungs um, at the actual concert. And then the acoustic set was super awesome when she sang Favorite Crime.
Yep, that was the one that was my favorite of I did not expect that the acoustic part of the set would be what I liked the most, but when I feel like part of it was we talked about the girls behind us, they were screaming at everything, but that was not necessarily the case when she went to acoustic set. It seemed like everyone
That's
kind of
true.
understood like vibes are calm, like let's just listen to how good her voice is, like
Yeah.
and there were times she was very good about kind of picking times to just take the mic away from her mouth and let the arena sing. And I felt like that was good during her acoustic set of just let's just hear the experience of the venue that we're in right now. And it was very well done. I really enjoyed that part. Wasn't again favorite crime I would not call my favorite song from her original album, but it was very well done. So yeah, I'm in the
Yeah.
same boat there. Um, other thoughts from Olivia in general?
I'm glad we went and I'm glad we got the tickets. We, so what, I got the pre-sale code and then you
Yes,
got it or
we both
something.
tried for
Yeah.
pre-sale code. I I got waitlisted for one of the we since she
Yeah.
was here Tuesday and Wednesday. I got waitlisted for one of the days, and we were like, if you're waitlisted, you're screwed. So didn't even care about that one. But you got in for Wednesday, so we're like, okay, sweet. And then you had a meeting during when the tickets were actually
During
being
it.
sold. So then, yeah, I was in charge of locking in and nailing down the tickets, which was
Yeah.
huge. We were able to do.
You locked them in. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I remember when we first met, I was like, I wasn't shocked that you liked Olivia, but it was just cool that we had that in common and could jam out on car rides to Olivia. And you said you tried to get tickets to her first tour and that you always wanted to see her. And I always wanted to see her too. I didn't get to see her on her first tour. So it was just super cool that we got to do that together.
yeah. She started in her first tour was a very small venue, and then obviously now she's selling out basketball arenas. So very cool. She's had very quick growth, but yeah, I Taylor Swift was not my like favorite. That was just kind of like I want to go because the experience, and now I've grown to love her even more. Olivia was like it didn't matter. Like I tried to get tickets to her tour last time. I've wanted to see her ever since I heard Driver's License, and I'm like you mentioned earlier, I'm not even the biggest live music lover. So this is definitely on the bucket list. Very cool to see her. And now I've hope to, back to the Taylor conversation, hope to be able to see like, okay, if she has another tour in 4 years and then another one in 4 years after that, like continue to kind of go back, see her grow. And also that would mean she's making more music. And that's the ultimate goal because I love listening to her. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
do we want to move into Bachelor season finale talk?
Let's do it.
Okay, so Monday was first. I guess I'll give the warning to everyone that if you have not seen Bachelor and you don't want to hear spoilers about Bachelor, there are going to be Bachelor spoilers ahead of us. So stop listening now. I know it's a great
Spoiler
interview,
alert.
but yeah, heads up, don't listen to this part. So we'll jump right in. Um, we have, for this entire season, we have loved this season. And I think we both went in Monday kind of worried of what was going to exactly happen because Joey was down to two girls. He was down to Kelsey and Daisy. And all the previews kind of gave the sense that like maybe he doesn't end up with either of them, and that would have sucked because we loved both of them and we love him. So um
Nate loves this man.
I do love this man. I have I've said multiple times now, I'm just like, I wish I could be friends with Joey. He plays tennis. There's more and more that comes out about this man that I'm just like, yeah, I have that in common with him. Like he seems like a great hang. And yeah, you've accused me of having a crush on him, and I'm like, yeah, I
Yeah,
probably do. He's just a great guy.
just
Um,
a chill dude.
so I guess the biggest spoiler is he was not left alone. But let's just jump to probably the most pivotal scene of this episode is he's down to the final two. They go to their final dates, and we kind of get the vibe of maybe he's not leaning towards Daisy. Like I think it's going to be Kelsey. I think we I think you went in thinking originally that you probably thought it was Daisy. I think I had
Yeah.
predicted Kelsey, so we were it was that neck and neck. Like we felt like it was close. But they have their two final dates and it seems like Joey is non-committal with Daisy, but it feels like he is committal and wants to give the reassurance to Kelsey. So there's this pivotal scene where Daisy is like, I need to go talk to I guess she just is like, I need to go talk. And so she like leaves her hotel room, knocks on her door, it goes to commercial break, and then you can take it over from here. But it was not Joey that
She,
she was going to talk to. She was going to see to Kelsey.
no, she was going to see Kelsey, which is, I don't know if we've ever seen anything like that on a season before. I think that's the first time that like two finalists have met up right before the final rose, which I was telling you this, but the how the evolution of this show gets a lot of backlash for a lot of different reasons. Um, it's purely entertainment. For us, we enjoy it when it's on. But truly, the evolution of the contestants and the friendships that are actually built on The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, I feel like I haven't seen that in years past. And like now, and maybe it's because of social media, but like you truly see the bonds that come out of these shows and they become like lifelong friends. And I just like can't believe the best friendship that Kelsey and Daisy had, like going into that final rose and like the empathy that they felt for each other. Basically knowing like one of us is going to get chosen, and that means that like my friend is going to hurt at the end of this. So um it was crazy to see that. Like it's something we've never seen, and just seeing the way that they both handled it, it was truly like a beautiful moment.
Yeah, maturity that you rarely see from reality television, which is what The Bachelor is. And so they go and talk, and Daisy expresses her concerns. It again, it's such an awkward premise because it's essentially like in the next hour, this guy that we are both dating is going to be broken up with one of us and engaged to the other, which is just a wild
Mhm.
premise, but that's reality TV for you. But they go into this, they talk it out, and Daisy has said like, I just don't feel like over the past couple days I've gotten the reassurance that I kind of need to know, like, I think he's into me. I think that I'm going to be the one. She asked Kelsey, like, have you felt the same thing? And she's like, no. Like, I have gotten the reassurance. I kind of feel like it's me. She doesn't necessarily say that, but like, you get the vibe that like they've had very different final dates. And we saw the two final dates, and they were very different. Um,
Mhm.
so then we go to they've teased all season that's going to be a finale or it's going to be something at the end that we have never seen before. And truly the shocking moment where I think both of us audibly gasped watching this show is they typically how they set it up. The guy is, waiting for them at the beach or the over the cliff or wherever they are for this monumental proposal, and the car will drive to wherever they're dropping them off. And the first car that gets dropped off is just with the runner up. So the person has to go up, and basically the guy has to say, like, I'm sorry, it's not you. I have to send you home. It's going to be the next person. So we're basically, it's a very big moment in Bachelor shows every single year of you just sit and wait and see, like, oh my God, who's going to be shown first. So they do it very well. They show scenes of, like, here's Daisy looking out the window of the back of the car, here's Kelsey looking out the window of the back of the car, and then all of a sudden they merge the two, and you realize that they are in the exact same car, holding each other's hands. So again, like you had mentioned, friendship like we've never seen before.
Yeah. Truly, I think my jaw dropped to the floor. I like lunged to the front of the couch and I looked at you and I was like, is this happening right now? And at that point, I still really didn't know what was going to happen. I don't know what you were thinking in that moment, but I truly thought, okay, are they both leaving? Or like, because again, they set it up like he may go home alone. And I think in the back of my head, I knew he was going to end up with one of them. I just like was getting the vibe that they were like leaving together, that this is just not, it was not right for that moment. I don't know. I was still so confused. And then obviously we get to the point where they show Daisy going out there first. And that was like just gut wrenching, like tears, super sad. But I mean, she's amazing. The way she handled that, just truly, truly mature, like you said.
Yeah, maturity beyond belief. So I kind of wanted to analyze or just bring up two different quotes that Daisy had. One
Hmm.
of them was right before, like, Joey. She basically interrupted Joey and was like, "Hey, I know I'm not the one." When I don't think Joey knows at this point. She knows because they drove there together, and clearly she's going first because they drove there together, and she knows Kelsey's back at the car. But it was just incredible to me that she's just like, I'm gonna cut you off. I know I'm not the one. This has been incredible. And then typically, in Bachelor Nation fandom or in their tradition, the person that has just gotten broken up with gets walked to the car and they drive
Yeah.
off. Daisy is about to leave, and Joey's like, "Can I walk you out?" And she just goes, like, mature as she
She's
can
like,
be,
nah.
this is something that I need to do on my own, or this is a walk I need to do on my own, which is just so cool. Just
Yeah.
again, maturity unlike we've ever seen before. She walks all the way back. She's not mad at him. Like, I don't know if we've ever finished a season where it seems like no one was mad at Joey, which is kind of crazy.
No,
It
they're
When
all
you're the
friends.
lead, yeah, you typically kind of end up hating this person. That
Yeah.
did not happen. She walks all the way to the car. She hugs Kelsey because she knows Kelsey's about to go get engaged, and then she hits her with just the absolute tearjerker of the line of, "Your mom would be so proud of you right now."
Yeah.
So, yeah, Kelsey's mom had passed away from breast cancer. She got the breast cancer uh, diagnosis, and then within 2 months had passed away. So definitely was something that was
Super
very
sad.
hard for Kelsey. We saw that in the hometown dates. We saw that throughout the entire season with her. And just for Daisy in that moment, she just got broken up with. She thought potentially that she was going to be engaged on this day. And to have the empathy, to have the really just thinking about the other person, it's just crazy to be able to walk out of that situation and just be like, yeah, friend, I just got broken up with, but I hope this is like the best day of your life.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It is insane. She has the biggest heart. And the other quote, which maybe you're going to get to, but the one that like everyone was going crazy about is when she gets in the car afterwards, after she had just hugged Kelsey and said that about her mom. And then she gets in the car and she's like, if I can love the wrong person that much, imagine how much I can love the right person. And I feel like I was just like, this girl can do everything. She's amazing. Like I truly have never seen anything like that. And the way she handled it with such grace. I mean, I hope she finds love. Everybody's rooting for her and Tyler C. Oh, hello, Gracie.
Yes, I agree that she needs to find love because it was insane. I and that doesn't even begin. We haven't really talked about the rest of it. Uh, Kelsey's an awesome person too. Like the fact that Kelsey was like, sure, Daisy, like I'm confident I'm about to go get engaged, but join me in this moment. I'll support you. I'll make sure you're okay before you leave, before I go have this life altering moment, and then goes and gets engaged. And for the rest of the show, the after the final rose, everything that has come out since they have, been official and can finally be public with their relationship is just like, you're the perfect fit. Like I they both would have been the perfect fit because they're both just such great people. So
Yeah,
is Joey. It are like ultimately had me thinking like, was that the best season of The Bachelor ever?
it's up there. I mean, we enjoyed that from start to finish. I remember after the first like the first episode or the second episode, we were both just like locked in. Like this is going to be a good episode. He had a good set of women. There wasn't that much drama. The drama that happened was like probably the silliest drama that we've seen ever. Like the producers probably really had to like fight to get that drama going. Because it really wasn't that bad. He didn't have any like too terrible of women. So just honestly one of the best. I like rank it up there with Hannah Brown's season, but Joey's season had like such a happy ending that it's almost probably like number one for me.
Yeah, totally agree. I think it was. I mean, I have not watched every single Bachelor or Bachelorette season from when it started, um, but of the ones that I've watched, I will miss seeing these people on my television every week, and I feel like that goes to say something because a lot of the time I'm just like, gosh, now I'm gonna have to see you on my Instagram reels for the next 6 months while you enjoy being the newest ad producer or whatever for HelloFresh and all that kind of dumb stuff. But this time I'm like, I don't know, sell me something. Like you've got me sold on this television show. Like hit me with all the promoted ads and all the stuff because
Yeah.
you guys are awesome people. I really enjoyed your season and I'm gonna miss you. So goes to say something when it's just a reality television show.
Yeah, for sure.
Any other Bachelor thoughts? We do know now that the next Bachelorette will be Jen, who came from this season. She'll be the first Asian American lead of the show, so that's pretty cool.
Hmm.
I liked her in the
So cool.
show. Um, her cast is already out, or it leaked recently, which I think seemed kind of fast from what I'm used to. But um, excited to see what's to
Yeah.
come.
I heard that I think there were so many people rooting for Maria to be Bachelorette, Maria or Daisy. And what I've heard is that, again, just rumors, speculation, but that they both declined and then Jen accepted, obviously. And I think Jen will be a
Hmm.
good Bachelorette. I do think that I would have enjoyed Maria's season would have been fun, probably a little chaotic, but she was fun to watch. And I obviously would have loved Daisy as the Bachelorette too.
Yep, agree for all the reasons we said. Yeah, I didn't. I see Maria more as like a Bachelor in Paradise person than being the lead of
Yeah,
her own show, just because she definitely
agreed.
has that chaotic energy that Bip loves. But yeah, I would agree. Um, anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, that was Alyssa Randazzo. Liz, thank you for joining the pod. You've made my life better, and now you've made this pod better. So thanks.
Ah, thank you.